Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 4309 Southwest Melville here in Portland, Oregon. We're located at it's the left side of the home. There's a big old void here between the two halves of the house, and we're just on the rearmost portion of the home here on the left side. But right close to this big void here between the two sections of the home. Got a 4-inch cast iron cleanout. This will be the point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running, and I will zero out the camera counter here at the base of the cleanout and refer to this spot as the point of access. Here we go. It looks like the line went straight out from the house there and then hung a right and heading towards the rear of the property. And here at 11 feet, line transitions over to 4-inch ABS pipe. Everything's looking good so far. Hopefully this means it's been fully updated. Actually, you know, I'm going to have to, I may have to correct that. You can see the bottom of the flow line here is all bumpy. When we get it drained out at the very end, we'll have a clearer look at that. But that type of deformation is indicative of a type of pipe called Orangeburg. We do have a large root intrusion here at 19 feet. And this is what commonly happens. I'm about 90% sure at this point. When it's all drained out, I'll be able to confirm it. But anyway, Orangeburg pipe is made out of tar paper, and it saturates with water over time and collapses under the weight of the ground above it. And also, the joints are very, very weak and allow roots to come through. And the roots will just penetrate right through the sidewall of the pipe because it's such weak stuff. And that looks like what we've got going on right here. Something's just shot right through the side, unless that's a vegetable from the sink upstairs. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. In some parts of town, depending on where you're at, the city or the county, it's worth checking with them, as Orangeburg is as far as I know, it was banned in the late 50s. It's a very uncommon type of pipe to see. It didn't last very long, is why. But those lines that have it, sometimes the city requires that they be removed because of how prone they are to failure. And we've got more root intrusion here at 27 feet out. And you can see how the pipe's deformed so much. It just conforms to all the little rocks and roots and everything around the pipe. Usually when I see this stuff too, by this point in its existence, the pipe will be smashed completely flat. Now this right here looks like something, this is what I was talking about. Roots have just penetrated right through the sidewall, not even at a joint, it looks like. This is not the type of pipe that I ever recommend babying along some lines, like if this were cast iron pipe with roots in it. You could get away with doing hydrojetting or drain cleaning to keep the roots trimmed out of there, but in this case, drain cleaning could very possibly destroy the line because it's so weak. But it's just going to get worse and worse and worse with time. More and more roots and stuff will penetrate, and the line will just continue to collapse. And unfortunately, it goes for a really long stretch here. Now, we're having a lot of rain here this week, very heavy rainstorm, so any paint markings that I do likely will not last. So what I'll do is I'll map the line out with, get a bunch of sticks, put stakes in the ground with red fabric on top of them, just some, so that will be a permanent way to map the line out, or it will at least last long enough for the repair guys to check it out. We got kind of a funky angle here, but this does look like, I think the line's terminating here. Well, either way, this is as far as I can't, well, finally turned there. Here at 67 feet, it is now cast iron pipe. It looks like 4-inch. And my camera's not going to be able to advance past this point. It was lucky to even get turned into here. It goes through a really, really funky turn there, back to back, and it's got the camera cable pinched. So now I'm going to reel back to here where it's flattened out a little bit. This is where the Orangeburg appears to stop at, and at this point it's cast iron. So because of that reason, I recommend contacting the city to pull records to see how long this line is, to see if it goes a whole lot further than 67 feet here. Then I'll do locates and I'll map the line out from this point back to the cast iron transition. I recommend replacing all of the Orangeburg pipe, as it's in terrible condition as it is, and it's just going to get worse with time. It's not a line worth drain cleaning and trying to maintain that by a routine of hydrogetting or augering. It's just not gonna last. Okay, I successfully located the camera head here, right at the transition to cast iron pipe. And it's located right underneath a pile of rocks. If you're standing right at the cleanout looking towards the rear of the property, the camera head is right underneath a pile of rocks at the left rear corner of the property, right up against the corner of the fence. I put a stick in the ground with red fabric on top of it sticking out of the pile of rocks. I cannot get an exact depth there, and the reason for that is the rocks. They're partially impeding the signal, but it's right around 3 feet in depth. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start reeling back the camera, and I'm going to map the line out. We'll do markings about every like 10-15 feet. And I'll do another marking here at 50 feet. And I'll do another stick in the ground with red fabric on top of it. Okay, we are about 5 feet or so from where a concrete pad is in the backyard. The line's going in a straight line so far. And for the most part, this appears to all be under dirt, which is a good thing. And it's only 2 feet 7 inches deep here, so quite shallow. Now this would be a hand dug job, which saves quite a lot of money when it's this shallow. And the depth of it, normally when I find these lines are just smashed completely flat, it's because of how shallow the line is that it hasn't collapsed any more than it has at this point. Just not as much dirt on top of it to compress it. Okay, we do our marking here of 35 feet. Okay, we're at a similar depth here. It's about 2 feet 7 inches deep. Got another marking right here, and then on the last one, transition from cast iron to Orangeburg. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit further, just to get it on the side of the fence that divides the side yard. We'll try right here. Okay, I've got a stake. It's just on the, I guess the front side of the fence that divides there's a side yard fence here dividing the front and back. And this will be my last marking here at 11 feet out. Okay, I have the entire Orangeburg section mapped out. I want to reiterate once again, I had to stop right at the fence line, could not advance past that point. So hopefully there's an easement just beyond the fence line. That's more than likely what's going on, but you have to pull records to verify that. I recommend a full replacement of all the Orangeburg pipes starting at the cast iron transition at 11 feet and all the way out to the cast iron transition at 67 feet or 66 feet. And the line goes dead straight, parallels the left side of the home, starts on the front side of the little green fence back here. I've got 2 stakes in the ground at 11 feet to indicate the starting point, and then it goes in a dead straight line. I've got about 5 or 6 stakes in the ground all the way to the fence line at the rear left corner of the house. And the repair ranges from about actually at 11 feet it's 2 feet deep exactly, and then at 66 or 67 feet the line is right around 3 feet. I can't get an exact depth because there's a bunch of rocks over the top of it. But fairly shallow. And I do recommend a re-scope after the repair is done to ensure that the new pipe is draining out properly and was done correctly.